Our first update is on Tarek Zahed, the Sergeant-at-Arms of the Comanchero MC, who was released on parole in December 2024, after serving time for attempting to cover up evidence in the 2014 killing of Yusuf Assoum. His parole conditions banned contact with club associates, but that didn't last long. By July 2025, Zahed was back on the Melbourne nightlife circuit, spending time at the Love Machine nightclub in Remand. In the early hours of July 27, he and several associates were involved in a violent brawl with security guards, leaving 3 staff members in hospital. Just 2 weeks later, on August 8, he returned with a larger group, sparking another confrontation. Police said the fights, along with earlier shots fired outside the club, were linked to Comanchero activity, so the venue was temporarily closed. All of this breached the strict terms of Zahed's parole. A warrant followed in September. Raptor squad officers searched his Sydney apartment on the 25th, but Zahed had already disappeared, setting off a month-long manhunt. He also failed to appear in Newtown local court for separate driving matters, adding to the pressure. The search ended on October 24, when detectives raided an Airbnb in Dundas Valley. Zahed was arrested without resistance, and police seized cash suspected to be crime proceeds. He was moved into Corrective Services custody that night. On November 15, 2025, the state's parole authority held a hearing and ruled that Zahed must serve the balance of his original sentence, rejecting any further leniency. Citing his repeated breaches, ongoing gang affiliations, and the public safety risk posed by his leadership in the Comancheros, the authority ordered to be kept locked up until the full term expires, which won't be until May 2026. Zahed, who turned 45 just weeks before his arrest, now faces months in isolation at a high-security facility like Glenbrook Supermax, where he previously expressed remorse to a prison psychologist, citing family duties, his wife, children, and Omar's orphans, as motivation to exit the underworld. The parole authority decided Zahed must serve the remainder of his prison sentence, keeping him behind bars until May 13 next year. He will therefore spend the festive season behind bars. Our next update is on Omar Hosar, whose parole was also revoked, after he was charged with conspiracy to murder a Gangland rival outside a CBD police station in December 2023. Although the New South Wales Supreme Court granted him bail, the state parole authority blocked his release. Hosar's legal challenge is ongoing, with his matter adjourned until January next year, when the board will revisit his case. Omar, 35, is a key figure in Sydney's volatile underworld, often described as a mid-level operative in the sprawling Haouchar crime syndicate, a crime network allegedly led by his older brother, Bilal Haouchar, and specializing in drug importation, money laundering, and violent enforcements. Omar was arrested in January 2024, as the 6th person charged in the conspiracy, just as he was nearing the end of a 4-year sentence for prior drug and weapons offenses, for which he had been paroled in late 2023. The new charges, including conspiracy to murder, triggered an immediate parole revocation by the state parole authority, which cited the unacceptable risk he posed to public safety and his disregard for supervision conditions, such as prohibitions on contact with criminals. Despite the Supreme Court granting him bail in February 2024 under strict conditions, including electronic monitoring, surrender of phones, and home-based psychological support, the parole authority overrode the decision, ordering him back to Silverwater Correctional Center. The judge rejected his earlier bail bids, saying there was strong circumstantial evidence tying Omar to the encrypted chats, the IP data, the devices found, and witness accounts linking him to the syndicate's communication system. Omar will also spend the festive season behind bars. Our next update is on Gangland figure George Marrogi, who has had his decades-long prison sentence extended by 1 month after pleading guilty to assaulting a prison officer in February 2024. Marrogi, 36, is the head of the notorious crime family and is already serving a lengthy sentence for the 2016 murder of Kadir Ors, as well as running a drug trafficking operation from behind bars. The incident occurred at Melbourne's Metropolitan Remand Centre when officers were attempting to move Marrogi. CCTV footage shown in court captured the lead-up to the attack. Marrogi kicked an officer in the chest, throwing him into a wall and causing a minimally displaced fracture of his 5th rib. Police prosecutors noted that due to his violent reputation, he had not been formally interviewed about the assault. Marrogi's lawyer told the court that he had spent much of his time in prison in solitary confinement, with very little contact with others and limited time outside. The lawyer said the assault happened during a dispute about his family visit entitlements. The Melbourne Magistrates Court was told that Marrogi has a history of violent conduct behind bars, including assaults on prison officers and property damage. Magistrate noted that previous incidents had been served concurrently with his other convictions, but warned that further violent conduct would result in additional time behind bars. For the assault, Marrogi received a 3-month sentence, which extends his current sentence by 1 month. The earliest he will be eligible for parole is 2049. He has been held at Barwon Prison in Victoria. Our next update is from New South Wales Supreme Court, where car dealer Jamal Salameh, 31, has been acquitted of being an accessory before the fact to the murder of underworld figure Rami Iskander, who was shot dead outside his Belmore home in May 2022. The prosecution argued that the killing was a revenge attack, allegedly linked to the earlier shooting of Comanchero members Tarek and Omar Zahed just days prior. The case attracted significant media attention given its connections to Sydney's Gangland networks. Jamal was alleged to have supplied a blue car to Vincent Lambroglu, who prosecutors claimed helped organize the murder, knowing it would be used as a getaway vehicle. It was also suggested that Jamal had a personal motive due to his close ties with the Zahed brothers. However, judge dismissed the circumstantial case, ruling there was no concrete evidence that Salameh knew the intended use of the vehicle. She emphasized in court that simply being a car dealer, or having social connections to known gang members, does not in itself indicate criminal responsibility. The evidence presented by the Crown included a grainy photograph purportedly showing Jamal and Lambroglu together, but judge described it as inadequate and noted that Lambroglu was not called as a witness to substantiate the claims. Following the acquittal, judge also ordered the state to cover his legal costs, with filings to be made in January. Outside the court, his solicitor expressed relief at the outcome while questioning why the prosecution had pursued the case despite what he described as clear weaknesses in the evidence. The acquittal marks a significant victory for Jamal, who has maintained his innocence throughout the proceedings and faced the stress of a high-profile trial that could have carried serious consequences. Next court update is from Sydney, where Taskforce Falcon have charged 3 KVT associates with alleged drug supply offences under Strike Force Duncan. Strike Force Duncan was originally established by State Crime Command's Financial Crime Squad Motor Unit to investigate the illegal activities of organised criminal networks. These operations included the theft, supply, and staging of alleged kill cars, as well as other criminal enterprises such as drug supply.
Police search warrant! 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 Police search warrant!
With the creation of Taskforce Falcon earlier this year to fight violent crime, Strike Force Duncan was brought under its umbrella. Following extensive inquiries, on Tuesday 18th of November, Strike Force detectives executed a search warrant in Edmondson Park. At the address, officers arrested 28-year-old Emparama Nuvalay. He was taken to Liverpool Police Station and charged with directing a criminal group, ongoing drug supply, multiple serious drug offenses, dealing with crime proceeds and failing to hand over digital passwords. His lawyer did not apply for bail, and it was formally declined. He will appear in Campbelltown local court in January next year. Around the same time, Raptor Squad officers stopped a vehicle on the Great Western Highway at Glenbrook and arrested 28-year-old William Ravoka. He was charged with ongoing drug supply, participating in a criminal group, dealing with crime proceeds, drug offenses and handling precursors without a license. His bail was also refused. A third man, 24-year-old George Sukanaivalu, was arrested in Peakhurst about an hour later. He was charged with supplying large commercial quantities of drugs, dealing with crime proceeds, participating in a criminal group, possessing prohibited drugs and failing to comply with a digital access order. He appeared in Sutherland local court, where his bail was also denied. All 3 men arrested are of Fijian origins and are rugby players, and all 3 were denied bail and will be held at Remand Center. Strike Force detectives located and seized approximately 40 kilograms of illicit drugs with an estimated street value of $12.5 million. The charges relate to the alleged supply of approximately 55 kilograms of illicit drugs, with an estimated street value of $16.5 million. If you're looking for more exciting and eye-catching regular Bikie and organized crime updates, don't hesitate, smash that subscribe button, spread the word rapidly, Hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments section. You can also show your support by hitting the super thanks button, to keep the grind alive and the updates rolling, or tap the yellow buy us a coffee button. Stay tuned, stay curious, stay awesome and take care. Wu-Tang.